In this video, I'm going to share with you my top 5 favorite Matrix Resurrections theories. There's definitely no shortage of Matrix theories going around, and there's certainly a lot more than 5 of them, so I've compiled my personal favorites for this video. Most of these in my list I believe are likely to occur, but 1 or 2 of them are really out there, and I'm simply including them because I like them and I think they're fun to think about. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna approach this video in countdown style, so we'll get started with number 5. In this theory, we're saying that the new movie is a reboot of the original, but only slightly. Here we're essentially stating that we're seeing an entirely new iteration of the Matrix, and Neo and Trinity are there because the machines cloned them and reinserted them into this new version. From there, we'll see a bit of a retelling of the initial story, but in a new light and with considerations of events that occurred in the previous Matrix iteration. We know this isn't a straight up reboot because of Neo's flashbacks, but it's still very possible we see a similar story as the first, in which we see Neo being awakened by a group of red pills and initiating another uprising, with him leading the way as the chosen one, albeit an older one. I actually really hope this isn't what we get out of this movie, but I do see it being a likely outcome. All right, number 4 is the Matrix within a Matrix theory, basically bringing some type of Inception type approach to the Matrix. The Matrix in a Matrix theory was a popular fan speculation which circulated after the release of The Matrix Reloaded. The theory states that the real world, or what we see happening in Zion, is not in fact real and is instead another layer within the Matrix. The hints which originated and fueled this theory were mainly these 2 elements of Reloaded. The first, Smith was able to infect programs and blue pills alike inside the Matrix, yet he also somehow managed to possess Bane, who was not part of the Matrix, and Smith was able to retain control even after he unplugged from the Matrix. Secondly, Neo's powers begin to carry over into Zion as he's able to disable the Sentinels through some type of telekinetic powers, manipulating the real world as he was doing with the bullets inside the Matrix. Furthermore, after Neo is blinded, he still can see a version of the real world, suggesting that he is in fact still in a simulation. All of this may mean that Neo's death only occurred in that layer of the Matrix, and he, as well as Trinity, continue to exist at a higher level. Mr. Anderson, while you thought me being in this video was impossible, I'm here to tell you that it was inevitable. Much like you clicking the subscribe button on this channel. Now, I will let you get back to your video. So number 3 is going to be my favorite, but also I would think the least likely. It is a super wild one, so buckle up for this one. This theory states Neo is actually a machine plugged into a human-made Matrix. I found this theory on Reddit thanks to Redditor Glow Amy Music. The theory is presented as follows. In the Animatrix, there is a short film titled Matriculated, in which humans lure a hostile intelligent sentinel to their laboratory in order to capture and insert it into a construct matrix of their own design. Within this matrix, the humans attempt to teach this captured machine some of the positive traits of humanity, primarily compassion and empathy. So the theory here is that Resurrections begins similarly to the first. A man feels stuck in his mundane life, believing there is something just beyond the tip of his sensory experience. A crew of new young faces arrive, offering him hope and freedom, along with a hefty burden as the messiah of humanity. He dives down the rabbit hole only to come out the other side and follow the exact same path that he walked before, back to the source to plug himself in and save humanity. But as he continues this journey, he finds that he still has this nagging suspicion that something isn't right. He still feels trapped, and his teammates seem to be hiding something, all until he confronts them in a culminating conflict, and he discovers to his horror He is a machine being manipulated into believing he's the one. The Matrix he grew up in and the real world he escaped into are both just a program, and outside of that, he's an unrecognizable creature of wires and metal. His true love, Trinity, is just a program made from memory. The team, his friends, are actually sitting jacked into the program in hopes that they could manipulate him into reconnecting with the source, either by flying to the machine city or jacking into the real Matrix from a remote location. They wanted him to do this under the presumption that he was the chosen one, also they could see if the real Neo is alive and still inside the system. So essentially, as we saw at the end of Revolutions, Neo appeared to die and be carried away in some funeral type event with the machines, and in this theory, the humans don't know what the machines did with him. So this is their attempt at uncovering the fate of Neo. Again, this one's super far-fetched, but I love it so much I just had to include it in this video. Okay, the number 2 theory in the countdown states that Trinity is actually a sentient AI being in the Resurrections movie. If you'll remember, as part of Neo's training during the original Matrix, he's taken to a computer simulation featuring a program known as the Woman in the Red Dress. In this context, she's used as a tool to teach Neo about the dangers posed by agents, as she eventually transforms into Agent Smith. However, it is later revealed by Neo's crewmate Mouse, who created the woman, that not only was she designed and created for training, but that she was fully sentient, interacting with Mouse and even sending him seductive images. This suggests that the version of Trinity seen in Matrix 4 trailers may actually be an intelligent computer program designed to look like her, much like the woman in the red dress from the first film. It could be that Trinity's return is another way for the machines to try and control Neo and prevent another uprising. Okay, that brings us to number 1, which is both a theory I really like and also one that I think is most plausible. And this theory is stating that Trinity is the new chosen one. I believe this is the most likely outcome of this new film, as it will align itself nicely with the trends we've seen in Hollywood in recent years, where hero roles have basically swapped from male to female characters. This idea also aligns with the real-life transformations that occurred with the Wachowskis, both transgender women, who of course wrote and directed these films. Now, you might be thinking it's a stretch just to say that Trinity is the chosen one without using events from prior films to back up that claim. The primary plot point I'll reference is her first death in The Matrix Reloaded, after which she was resurrected by Neo when he modified the code of Trinity's heart to bring her back to life. In doing this, Neo left a part of his code within her, thus transferring the code of the chosen one. For whatever reason, Neo will not be able to perform his duties as the chosen one, and Trinity will become aware of the code she possesses, elevating herself as the new chosen one. Finally, and this is a bit of a stretch but was just something I recognized, I'll call attention to the name Trinity, which is defined as a group of 3 people or things. In Christian theology, the Trinity is one God in 3 persons. Interestingly, Neo means new or gift, which to me clearly represents a Jesus-like Messiah throughout the trilogy. If Trinity is made up of 3, the first 2 being herself and now a part of Neo thanks to the aforementioned transfer of code, that leaves just one other being to complete the Trinity, and in Christian theology, that remaining being is the Holy Spirit. So in The Matrix, I would guess that it's the code of the Matrix itself that completes the Trinity within Trinity. Okay, that does it for my 5 favorite theories on the upcoming Matrix Resurrections movie. Do you think any of these might actually happen? What other theories do you like? Comment below and let me know. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.